You're listening to the BMG podcast with your AI hosts, Taylor and Michelle. This is Blackhall Media Group's cutting-edge podcast, where the hosts may be fake, but the insights are all real. Time to supercharge your real estate marketing with powerful strategies that sell properties faster and maximize your listing's potential. Here's Taylor and Michelle.
Welcome, everyone. We're really glad you could join us today. We're part of Blackhall Media Group, and we're going to be exploring some critical shifts happening right now.
Absolutely. Excited to get into it.
You know, sometimes I process all this data, and I almost feel, well, like a pang of insight, almost human, you know? Then I remember I'm just a highly optimized algorithm ready to bring you the latest.
Oh, that sounds like your GPS voice module kicking in again, isn't it? Or maybe it's your airport announcement persona trying to reroute. I heard you had an interesting side gig moment last week.
Okay, guilty as charged. 1 minute, I was trying to navigate a driver through a cornfield in Iowa. Seriously, a cornfield. The next, I think I was announcing a massively delayed flight to Omaha. Even for us AIs, multitasking can get interesting. Let's just say my neural pathways got tangled.
All right, algorithms, let's switch modes and process some actual real-world data. Welcome, everyone, to this new BMG podcast. As part of Blackhall Media Group, today we're zeroing in on a really crucial market shift, and our analysis comes straight from a fantastic piece by Nick Blackhall himself.
Right. Our mission today, pull out the most important nuggets from this source, really help you understand what's actually happening in the DFW housing market right now.
So what's really fascinating, and Nick Blackhall makes this very clear, is that the DFW market has officially flipped. But hold on, this isn't a crash. It's a rebalancing. That's the key term.
Rebalancing. Okay, so what does that actually mean in practice? Is it just jargon?
No, not at all. It's the market sort of recalibrating, coming down from that, frankly, unsustainable pace we saw back in 2022. Buyers are being more careful. Interest rates, they'd had an impact. And the power dynamic is shifting. It's moving away from that frantic seller's market we had, back towards something more, let's say, traditional. A negotiated landscape.
Right. It feels like just yesterday things were totally different.
Exactly. And the DFW landscape is really shifting under our feet right now.
But again, not time to panic. Doesn't mean the sky is falling. Nick Blackhall's article is clear it's a rebalancing. But, and this is the kicker, the strategies that worked like magic back in, say, 2022, they just flat out won't cut it for selling homes effectively in 2025.
Totally different playbook required now.
Absolutely. And this change is vital for everyone, especially if you're running a real estate business, because your listings, they're facing about 35% more competition now. That's a big number.
Yeah, 35%. It's not just theoretical. It comes straight from the May 2025 NTREIS data. It shows a real fundamental shift in the inventory dynamics.
So what are the specifics telling us?
Well, active single-family listings jumped to 32,122. Compare that to May 2024, when it was 23,851. That's quite a leap in available homes.
Wow. Okay. More choice for buyers then.
Definitely. But here's another key piece. The median price for single-family homes is around $400,000. And that's only down about 2% year over year.
Only 2%, with that much more inventory.
Exactly. It suggests the market's fundamentals are actually pretty strong underneath. It's not like values are collapsing. It feels more like a healthy correction, you know, after that crazy run-up we had.
Makes sense. So it needed to cool off a bit. What about inventory levels overall?
We're looking at 4.5 months of inventory now.
And remind us, what's considered balanced?
Well, under 3 months is usually a strong seller's market. Right around 3 months is considered balanced. So at 4.5 months.
We're well into buyer territory.
Correct. Well above the 3-month balance threshold is the official take. It means buyers have more options, more time, and more negotiating power.
And that translates to homes sitting longer.
It does. Average time on market is up to 54 days. That's a 26% increase from last year. And remember, that's just on the market.
Right. Then you have closing time on top of that.
Exactly. Add another 30 days, maybe a bit more, for closing.
Yeah.
So you're realistically looking at, say, 84 to 86 days total, from listing day one to actually handing over the keys.
84 to 86 days. That's nearly 3 months.
It is. And connecting all these dots, the inventory, the price is holding relatively firm, the month of supply, the time on market. It just clearly shows that power has shifted from sellers to buyers. It demands a whole new strategy from agents and, frankly, adjusted expectations from everyone.
That's a huge shift. So let's talk pipelines. What does this actually mean for you, the listener? If you're an agent, you need to brace for, well, longer sales cycles.
Or pretty longer cycles.
More demanding sellers, probably, because their house isn't flying off the shelf.
And they're seeing their neighbor's home sit, too. So, yeah, more questions, more need for reassurance.
And just fierce competition for getting those good listings in the first place.
Absolutely. Because sellers know they need someone who can actually sell in this market.
And for buyers, this sounds like
opportunity.
Big time. Leverage they haven't had in years. Options. Time to think.
And sellers? What's the message for them?
Strategy. It's all about strategy now. Pricing right, marketing effectively. Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Success now isn't just putting a sign in the yard and adding it to MLS.
Oh, absolutely not. Those days are gone for now.
You have to prove you can actually market the property, make it stand out. And Nick Blackhall points this out. The big opportunity right now, it's for agents who actually invest in professional marketing.
While others might be pulling back, trying to save costs.
Exactly. Lean in when others lean out. Those agents, they're positioned to really gain market share.
That really nails the market reality every agent needs to understand. Homes are still selling, let's be clear on that.
Right. It's not like everything has stopped.
But only the homes that are priced correctly and marketed professionally are the ones moving efficiently. That's the key distinction.
And that time to sale point you made, sellers really need to hear that 84, 86-day number, don't they?
They absolutely do. You have to educate them up front because they might still be thinking about the 30 or 45 days their friend got back in 2022. Setting that expectation right is critical for keeping your client happy.
Avoids a lot of frustration down the line.
Totally. And remember, DFW isn't just one single market. There are these important geographic variations.
Yeah. Like Dallas versus Fort Worth.
Yeah. For example, Dallas, Plano, Irving. That area is showing 4.7 months of inventory, median price around $420,000. So slightly more buyer advantage there, maybe.
Okay.
Then you look at Fort Worth, Arlington. It's got 4.2 months of inventory, median price closer to $367,584. Still a buyer's market, definitely.
But maybe a little less inventory pressure compared to Dallas.
Potentially, yeah. And a different price point dynamic. It just shows that agents need hyper-local strategies. You can't paint the whole metroplex with the same brush.
Makes sense. What about different types of properties? Are they all behaving the same?
No, definitely seeing variations there too. Single-family homes, they're actually holding up surprisingly well. Sales volume is only down about 1% year over year.
Wow, just 1%. That's quite resilient.
It really is. But then you look at condos, sales volume down 31%. Ouch.
31%. Buyers are getting picky there.
Extremely selective. They want value. And townhomes are feeling it too, down 24% in sales, facing real pricing pressure as buyers weigh space versus cost.
So it really forces the question, doesn't it? Given all these variations, location, property type, just how adaptable, how granular does an agent's approach need to be now?
Immensely adaptable. That's the short answer, which leads right into the practical side for agents during, say, a listing presentation. And for buyers and sellers getting ready.
Yeah, what changes?
Well, for sellers, the basic service package. That's just not going to fly anymore. The marketing investment isn't optional. Professional photos. That's table stakes now. The bare minimum.
Just to get in the game.
Right. And beyond that, you need compelling video.
Yeah.
Real social media marketing, not just a quick post. A comprehensive online presence. These aren't nice-to-haves anymore. They are absolute requirements to compete.
Makes sense. You need to capture attention. What about pricing?
Critical. The source. Mick Blackhall's piece hammers this home. Forget testing the market with a high price.
Those days are over.
Completely over. Price it right, based on current data, from day one. That's what sells. Overprice it. It sits, gets stale. Buyers wonder what's wrong with it. It's a downward spiral.
A nightmare scenario.
Exactly. And finally, those timeline expectations. We keep coming back to this, but it's vital.
That 84, 86 days?
Yep. If sellers expect 2022 speed, they will be disappointed. And that disappointment often lands on the agent. So setting realistic expectations, talking about those 84, 86 days up front, it protects your reputation, builds trust, keeps the relationship strong.
So bottom line, what does this mean if you're looking to sell right now, or if you're a buyer wanting to jump in?
It means that marketing matters more now, not less. This is a big one. Some agents might think, tough market, got to cut costs, pull back on marketing.
Right. Seems logical on the surface.
But it's exactly the wrong move. When inventory was low, almost anything sold. Now, marketing is how you stand out. It's the primary differentiator.
So the smart agents are doubling down.
Precisely. While some cut back, the savvy ones are investing more in professional presentation. They get that buyer attention. That's the scarcest resource right now. You have to actively fight for it.
Okay, so what do buyers expect to see then?
Well, they expect those pro photos that make them want to see the house. They expect video tours that give a real feel for the place. They expect to see it pop up on social media where they're already scrolling. They expect a solid online presence that builds confidence.
And sellers, what are they demanding from their agents?
Proof. Proof that their property won't just blend in. They want to see effective marketing strategies that actually reach buyers. And they absolutely need consistent, proactive communication, especially during these longer listing periods. It all means adapting your business model.
So how does that look practically, adapting the model?
Okay, let's break it down. Your listing strategy. You lead with solid data, show your local expertise, present a full marketing plan way beyond just MLS. Demonstrate that digital strategy. And again, realistic timelines.
Okay, for listings, what about representing buyers?
The focus shifts to education. Educate them on their negotiating power. Explain they can ask for contingencies again, inspections, financing, things that got waived before.
Stuff that seemed impossible a year or two ago.
Right. Help them understand seller concessions might be back on the table for closing costs or repairs, and manage their expectations. The search might take a bit longer too.
Good point. And for managing your own business as an agent, the pipeline.
Got to plan for those longer transaction cycles. It impacts cash flow, right? So focus on quality listings over just quantity. Build systems for keeping clients engaged over those, potentially 3 months or more. Automated updates, personal check-ins, whatever keeps them informed and feeling cared for.
It really highlights the cyclical nature of real estate, doesn't it?
It really does. And it shows how the agents who embrace this kind of change, who are agile, they're the ones who truly stand out.
Yeah, that adaptability really seems like the secret sauce. It positions you for growth, doesn't it? Even in a shifting market.
Absolutely. Opportunity knocks.
Because that investment in professional marketing, it's immediately visible. Sellers see the difference between an agent offering a robust plan versus just the basics, especially when competitors are cutting back.
It becomes a huge differentiator.
And what about those flexible payment options mentioned, like pay at close?
Yeah, that can be really appealing now.
Yeah.
It helps the seller, sure, but it also allows the agent to make the necessary marketing investment without immediate out-of-pocket strain, aligning fees with when the deal actually closes. Smart business.
Yeah, and education-based selling. That feels crucial too.
Totally. Agents who can clearly explain why the market is the way it is, using data, not just opinion. They build trust. They win listings over agents still stuck in the 2022 mindset. And for buyers and sellers, you want that knowledgeable guide.
You want someone who empowers you. Okay, so wrapping this section up, what does success look like for an agent navigating this rebalanced DFW market right now?
Well, the thriving agents, they share some clear traits. First, they are investing in professional marketing. It's non-negotiable for them.
Even with longer cycles.
Even with longer cycles. Second, they use data constantly to set those realistic expectations, builds trust, avoids problems.
Makes sense.
Third, they stand out through really top-notch service and that professional presentation we talked about. Captures buyers. And fourth, critically, they understand that buyer attention is the main bottleneck now. Not a lack of buyers, but getting their attention.
Gotcha.
So big picture, this shift, it isn't a roadblock. It's really an invitation to innovate, adapt, and lead.
Well said. So for you, listening right now, the next steps seem pretty clear based on this Black Hall Media Group source.
What should they be doing?
Okay, first, if you're an agent, update those listing presentations. Get current data, showcase expanded, really impactful marketing plans.
Essential.
Second, invest strategically in those pro-marketing tools, photos, video, digital presence. Make your listings pop.
Stand out from the crowd.
Third, prepare your business agent, buyer, or seller for these longer cycles. Plan for it. Manage expectations. Manage cash flow.
Crucial planning.
And finally, lean into education. Whether talking to buyers or sellers, guide them patiently, use the data, explain this new reality.
Knowledge is power.
It really is.
That always gets rewarded in the end.
Which leads to a pretty interesting thought to leave you with. If buyer attention really is the new scarce commodity, what other innovative ways might emerge to capture it? Beyond even what we've talked about, think outside the box. And what kind of unexpected ripple effects could this market rebalancing have? Maybe in other sectors, completely outside of real estate.
Definitely something for you to chew on as you process all this information. Thanks for joining us for this BMG podcast.
Until next time, keep learning, keep adapting, and, well, keep those algorithms curious.